Aldenaki here with another Destiny video, and today I'm going to show you how a Titan Defender can solo the Abyss on Croata's End hard mode. Now here we are setting it up. Now I've run this before, so when I set the level here I'm actually selecting it with the X key that will give me a restart. I didn't know that before, but a pal of mine pointed that out. Notice that the restart activity came up and I said yes, restart. So if you want to do that, and that actually is true for a number of the missions, if you want to restart Croata's End hard mode from the beginning, go ahead and select your level and just hit the X key instead of the A key and you should get a restart. So here we are going on down to the starting point for the raid, and I'll try to show you how I've got everything set up here. Now I'm actually going to show in this video how to do the survive the bridge at the end 3 different ways. And that's sort of putting the cart before the horse here. So let's go ahead, and as we fire up the initial bridge here, you can see that I'm running Defender. And a couple of important things here, but the important thing is I want increased height, and about a third from the end over there on the top row is the Bastion perk, which extends the bubble, and we want that set. It's very important actually for the third approach to at the end. Also, my primary weapon, which is the equipped weapon, is the Mida multi-tool, and I want that set up with the lightweight perk and the multi-tool perk. And that will give me extra agility and speed, and that's very necessary for the rock jump and at the beginning and actually at the end. So here we go. The other 2 weapons that I have a legendary sniper, I think, as my special, and the Hunger of Croata as my rocket launcher, and at the end any tracking rocket launcher will do. The first approach I'm going to use will be while I'm waiting to get my shields back here. Okay, got everything set up. I'm going to go ahead and burn a heavy synth to make sure that I got rockets. Alright, and we'll be off and running. And again, I have got my primary and equipped weapon is the Mida multi-tool. And what we're trying to do here is just avoiding the thralls and the exploding thralls. Now sometimes it takes several tries of this because the exploders just get in the way. Okay, get all the way to the far point of that rock and jump up and out with a double jump. The important thing there is to jump up first and then out, and then hold that A key or your jump key down. Now as soon as I get up here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to my Vision of Confluence as my primary, and my Icebreaker is my special weapon, and I still have the Hunger of Croata rocket launcher as my heavy weapon. And we're going to walk along the edge of this upper wall up here for a little ways till we come to a point where the path to the right looks like it just goes a little bit and then stops. Now if you go too far, you'll come right to the edge of that wall. So you just backtrack a little bit. Now here I'm going to take out the knight with my Icebreaker. And as I found out on my subsequent runs, you really don't need to do that. I think one time on a normal run, when I ran by him, he bellowed and alerted the thralls up ahead, and we don't want that to happen. But by doing this, we're actually going to be able to get to the bridge without dealing with any more enemies. It's only after we activate the bridge is that we have problems. By the way, my Icebreaker also has the lightweight perk selected, which makes running and jumping a little bit easier. It's a +2 agility. Alright. So I went straight up to a lamp, turned right, came to this lamp, and we're almost at the end. We're going to turn left and head towards that lamp, which is right by the bridge. What I'm going to do here when I get to this lamp is I'm going to get the weight of darkness completely off of me. Alright, run down to the plate, activate the bridge, or the start of the bridge, and run over back to the left to this big rock here, around behind. There's a little spot here where you can jump up, and jump up to the top. Okay, and you want your multi-tool or your icebreaker to be able to do that. Notice I switched over to my Hunger of Croata rocket here, because that thrall is going to appear. Fire a rocket or two at him. I just got one before he went behind the rock. I actually had a little bit of a problem on this run because, you know, like for example, I thought I had my icebreaker up, and I said, God darn it, I had my scout rifle up. So I'm peppering him with my icebreaker. He's starting to fire at me. 2 rockets. He's just about gone. And there he goes. That was a little close, but not too difficult. And while I'm waiting for the bridge to form here, I'm looking around right below me to see if there's any thralls. If there aren't any, then that's fine. But I just want to get rid of the thralls that are right below me. Gives me something to do while I'm waiting for the bridge to form. Alright. Switch back to my... No, not that guy, darn it. I switch back to my icebreaker, which has the lightweight perk again, and then just take off running. And I got all the thralls chasing me, and I'm not too worried about the guys on the bridge because I'll just jump over them, double jump if I have to. That was an abbreviated double jump. I killed the jump by hitting my A key again, and then just run. With the lightweight perk and the equipped weapon, the thralls cannot catch you. You've got just enough increase in agility to stay ahead of them. And here we are into the light. Now the first time I did this earlier this week, I did get the Oversoul Edict, which is a really great arc pulse rifle. But there you go. That's soloing Crota's End, hard mode with a Titan Defender. I'm using Icebreaker and Hunger of Croata rocket launcher, and the Mida multi-tool as my primary to make the jump at the beginning. Okay, the second option at the bridge involves just using the Patience and Time sniper rifle and not a sniper rifle rocket launcher combination. So in this particular scenario, I've already made the jump. I'm walking along the edge of the wall. I've got my, I believe I've got my multi-tool out here. And at this point, I'm sneaking up on this first lamp. And I'm going to go ahead and get the weight off. Actually, I believe this is a Vision of Confluence. It doesn't really matter at this point. Although I probably should have the multi-tool equipped. But I'm running right by the knight. It's nice of him to have his back turned to me, and normally that will be the case. Alright, we're going to run straight up to the next lamp. Get our weight off again. Okay, turn to the right, run to the next lamp. Alright, at this point, before I get to the lamp, I'm going to be making my switches here. Alright, I want the multi-tool to be able to jump up on the big rock. And notice that I had to swap out my Patience and Time because I can only carry one exotic weapon and equip one exotic weapon at a time. Alright, we're taking the weight off and off to the final lamp. Now things are going to happen pretty quick when I jump up on this big rock. Taking the weight off. Hit the plate. Let's go back to the left. You've got our multi-tool equipped to be able to jump up this rock. So, like so, and immediately go ahead and swap out our multi-tool for another weapon, Vision Confluence, and bring up our fully loaded or fully leveled Patience of Time, and go over and immediately burn a special scent to make sure we've got full ammo on the Patience of Time. Go ahead and make sure it's ammoed up. And now the Ogre is going to appear by that next to last lamp. And actually, he went behind that big rock. So I'm just putting shots on him. It's going to take more than one click here. I'm going in my second click. As for the Patience of Time, when you zoom in, you go invisible. And that time, I actually knocked him back into a hole, which I thought was pretty good. Alright, I don't need the Patience of Time anymore, so I'm going to go back and reset to the multi-tool and any old weapon for a special weapon. I'll put my multi-tool. And I'm just killing bad guys, trolls around the rock. Okay, there we go. There's the bridge, off and running. Again, multi-tools equipped, so I've got actually more than just the agility, because the mighty multi-tool perk itself allows me to move faster. Notice that the little guys can't keep up with me. And run to the end. So this approach just uses the Patience of Time sniper, but once we get up on that rock, we got to do a lot of weapon switching and sync running, so it's pretty quick hands. But there you go. That's doing it with the Patience of Time. Now this last approach we're going to use, again, we've made the jump. I'm kind of sneaking up on that first night, or that knight, kind of seeing where he is. I'm taking weight off. I've got my multi-tool equipped. I don't care about any other weapon at this point. And this actually turned out to be the easiest way to do it. Okay, here we go. The weight's off, and I run right by that sucker. Straight up the hill to the next lamp. Make sure I don't fall into a hole there. Alright, gonna take some weight off again. This is where the Bastion perk on my Defender comes into play. That makes my bubble last longer, because this last approach we're going to use, we're not going to fire a shot. We're going to rely on our Blessing of Light bubble, and I've actually got Armor of Light set. But here we are. We're at the bridge. I'm taking the weight off. Run down. Set the bridge. Haul it back over to the rock here on the left. Jump on up. And what I'm doing here is I'm taking a look back at where the Ogre is going to spawn. And I just fire a couple shots at him, getting him to go behind the big rock. But he kind of moves that way anyway. That's fairly consistent behavior. And I'm just kind of screwing around here. Now he's going to come out from behind that rock at some point here. There he is. As soon as he starts firing, throw up your bubble. Yeah, I've got armor. What that does is it increases my ability to take damage when I pass through it. So when I come out of it, I should have slightly better armor. Now we're just keeping our fingers crossed that the bubble is going to stay formed until the bridge forms. Again, that's where the Bastion perk comes in real handy. It lengthens the time, the amount of time that you have the bubble. There's almost done. There it is. Alright, off and running. Just saw it. Again, just jump over the thralls. I still have my minor multi-tool, so I've got my extra agility here, and they're not going to catch me. So, I guess from a standpoint of when you finally get to the bridge, this actually, to me, turned out to be the easiest approach. I don't know if it's the safest, but it's actually the easiest approach to use. You don't have to worry about weapons swapping or ammo swings or anything like that. But there you go. It's Curtis and Hurt modes type of solo this with 3 different approaches at the end. this helps. Only Nikki signing off. Take care, everybody.